the alim over the worshipper is like my preference over the least of you. People have to understand who these people are. They have to understand, we have to understand who these people are. The Prophet ﷺ said that on Yawm al-Qiyamah, the blood of the shaheed and the ink, with riwayat al-alim, they're weighed in the balance. And he said that the ink of the martyr will outweigh, the ink of the alim will outweigh the blood of the martyr. Sahib al-Dhakhira al-Qarazi, rahimahullah, said about this hadith, he said, the highest thing that the shaheed gives is his blood, and the least of the tools of the scholar is his ink. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُعَلِّمًا وَإِنَّ الْعُلَمَاءَ وَرَثَةُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ. I was sent as a mu'allim. I was sent as a mu'allim. That's the Prophet ﷺ was sent as a teacher. And he said that the ulama are the inheritors of the Prophet. They inherit the wealth of the Prophet, which is knowledge. So who is going to speak about these people? This is the sign of the age we're living in. Al-Zahabi, who was the student of Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahumullah, one of the greatest scholars of Al-Jarh wa Ta'dil, which is the science of critically analyzing the words and the states of the scholars who transmit hadith, says about Ibn Hazm, rahimahullah, who's one of the ulama of Islam, because his tongue was so harsh on the other ulama, his books were left by the ulama, and little benefit was derived from them. Simply because his tongue was harsh on the ulama, because he spoke with a harsh tongue. And one of the reasons given by the ulama for that is that he was mainly an autodidact. He had little training amongst the shuyukh, and that is a sign of people who are self-taught, who buy books and they start reading books and think that they're ulama, think that they can give fatwa. When knowledge is taken from afwah al-rijal, la min sutur al-kutub. This is something in al-isnad min al-deen. The isnad is part of our deen. And there's no science from the sciences of Islam that doesn't have isnad. It's not just hadith. It's not just hadith. The science, you go now, right now you can go, and I can tell you a shaykh right now who teaches the Aqidah of Imam al-Tahawi with an unbroken chain of isnad back to Imam al-Tahawi. They can teach you the Risala of Ibn Abi Zayd al-Qayrawani with an isnad of unbroken scholars, one after the other. Knowledge is not taken from books, it's taken from human beings. And people have to learn the adab. And the loss of adab in this ummah has destroyed us. We don't have adab amongst each other, but why should we have adab amongst each other when we don't have adab for the best of us? Why? And why should Allah have compassion on a people when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَنْ عَادَ لِي وَلِيًّا عَادَلْتُهُ بِالْحَرْبِ? The one who shows animosity or enmity towards one of my awliya. And Imam Shafi'i said, إِذَا لَمْ يَكُنِ الْعُلَمَا هُمَ الْأَوْلِيَاء فَمَا لِلَّهِ وَلِيٌّ. If the ulama aren't the awliya, then Allah has no awliya. And iyakum, we should be aware also about the books of the ulama who talk about each other. Because this is something that all of the scholars have warned about students who haven't learned knowledge, reading books and reading like Ibn Taymiyyah said such and such about so-and-so, Al-Zahabi said such and such about so-and-so. Those, first of all, Jarh wa Ta'dil is for the ulama of hadith. It's not for somebody to just go pick up a book and start reading it. And the ulama of hadith said that they are literally on a hufra, on a pit from the pits of the fire. The people who do that time. They literally see themselves on a pit from the pits of fire. And they had fear about saying things about certain scholars. They had taqwa. But now, like the Prophet ﷺ said, people will say a word and they don't give it any thought, and it takes them 40 down into hell for like 40 seasons, straight down into hell. يَقُولُ بِكَلِمَةٍ لَا يُلْقِي لَهَا بَالًا. He gives it no concern, he just says it. And then the other thing, we become ummah babaghaiyya. You see, we hear something and then there's no tahaqquq. There's no tadaqquq. In the Bidayat al-Ayat al-Mutawassimin. In the Quran is for Mutawassimin. Who are the Mutawassimun? Mutawassimun are people who look deeply into matters. They don't superficially just hear something and then take it at at face value. And beware too, this is an age of a'immat al-mudillun. This is an age of imams that lead people astray. That's what it is. وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ نَسْأَلَ اللَّهَ أَنْ لَا نَكُنْ مِنْهُمْ. This is the age of people that are leading other people astray. Because the Prophet ﷺ in Sahih Bukhari says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala لا يحبذ العلم انتزاعا من الناس. Allah will not take knowledge suddenly from people. ولكن يقبضه بقبض العلماء. But He'll take it by seizing the scholars of this ummah. حتى لا يبقي أو لا يبقي عالما. Until not even one alim remains. اتخذ الناس رؤساء جهالا. فسئلوا. They'll take as leaders ignorant people and they'll ask them questions. فأفتوا. And they'll give fatwa. Because they have no taqwa. فَضَلُّوا وَأَضَلُّوا. They go astray and they lead others astray. When I was in the Emirates, one of the muftis there from Mauritania, a man of immense knowledge, Sheikh Abdullah Siddiq, and he was a man came in and asked him for a fatwa, and he said, come back tomorrow. And the man turned to me and said, Does he Arab Shaykh? Does he know anything? He's looking at me like, does he know anything? Why doesn't he give me an answer right away? Why doesn't he give me an answer right away? Does he know anything? Because the man has wara', he has taqwa. He doesn't just give a fatwa like that. And traditionally, the word in Arabic for fatwa is nazila. And nazila is the same word for tribulation. It's a calamity that descends upon the head of the mufti. And the muftun had fear about fatwa. One of the sahabas, you read Adab al-Mustafti wal-Mufti. You read the book about the adab, the courtesy of asking for fatwa and giving fatwa. One of the things mentioned in that book is that the Sahaba, one man would ask them a fatwa, and he would say, go to so-and-so, and they would go to so-and-so, and he would say, go to so-and-so, and they would go so, and it would keep going around until it came back to the first person. Nobody wanted to give the fatwa. And now, like Sheikh Shadi Nader said, كَذَبَ الْمُجْتَهِدُونَ. Everybody wants to give fatwa. People read Sayyid Sabiq and suddenly they're mujtahid al-asr. They know all the adillah, wal-hujjaj, wal-baraheen. People used to, Imam Malik said he didn't give fatwa until 70 muhannik in Medina gave him permission. 70 scholars in Medina gave him permission to give fatwa. Then he gave fatwa. Now, Ibn Asakir, rahimahullah, says, لحوم العلماء مسمومة. The flesh of our scholars is poison. The flesh of our scholars is poison. You'll die from it. Summun qatil. It will kill you. Al-Dhahabi said, no one will speak about the ulama in this ummah except Allah will kill their heart. You need to qalbahu. He'll kill their heart. And the worst thing about a dead heart is when you hear wow, it doesn't have any effect on you. You'll just go on the way you were going before because the heart's dead. That's what happens. The heart dies. And one of the signs of the end of time is mawtul qulub. The hearts die. People have no fear. There's no taqwa. أَوَّلُ عِلْمٍ يُرْفَعَ الْخُشُوَّةِ. The first knowledge to be taken away from people is fear. There's no taqwa. The majlis, if there's no dhikr of Allah, if there's no ilm, if there's no ta'aleem, it's a waste of time. Hurry. The Prophet ﷺ said, Siratun yawm al-qiyamah, it's just empty, foulness. كَأَنَّهُ قَامَ مِنْ جِيفَةٍ. Like he got up from a dead carcass. People that sit in gatherings and no mention of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no mention of the knowledge, these things. It just ends up jidal. Just argumentation, politics, رأيي كذا, أنا أعتقد هذا, قال فلان, قيل, ما رأيكم. And it's just, that's what it is. إعجاب كل ذراء برأيه. والوقت أنقص ما علمت بحبه وأراه أسهل ما عليه يضيع. Time is the most precious thing you have, and it's the easiest thing to lose. And I'll tell you, time is going fast. Time is speeding up. If you don't think time is being cranked up right now, then I don't know what you've been looking on the terminal too long. Time is going fast, and everybody's feeling it, not just as you get older. Even young people feeling it. Time is speeding up, which is one of the signs of the end of time. Quickly go to action. quickly go to action. When they say أعرضوا عن الله قالوا لنا أعمالنا ولكم أعمالكم. Those who turn away from vain talk, what do they say? لنا أعمالنا. We just have our actions. ولكم أعمالكم. And you have your actions. ولا نبتغي الجاهلين. We don't want ignorant people that are going to waste our time. Because time's too precious. Like one of the setup in Mecca was walking, there were people sitting in the street, empty talk, and he said, Wallahi تمنيت أن أشتري منهم ساعاتهم. I wish I could have bought from them their hours that they wasted. Just bought it. Because time's going, we're all getting gray hairs, we're all heading towards the grave. We're all heading towards the grave. And غدا في القبور, tomorrow in the grave, and we're going to be asked. We're not going to be asked about what's your opinion about this or that, or what do you think about that. Man ربك! Like rod, like thunder. And there's a lot of people that aren't going to answer that question. And a lot of them are going to be people who said, La ilaha illallah here. Because the Prophet ﷺ said that people will hear that voice of thunder and they'll just start shaking and they won't be able to talk. And we know physiologically that when people get intense fear, they can't talk. It's one of the signs. They call it stage fright. They lose the power to talk. There's people that take tests in the dunya. I'm telling you, they take tests in the dunya. And they can't remember anything. They lose. Everything goes blank. Their mind goes blank. They just go completely blank. And they fail the test. And you can't go and tell the instructor, I forgot it all. I know the answer. Let me take it again. It's over. Man rabbuka? Who's your Lord? And it's not enough to say, كان يقول الناس لا إله إلا الله فقلناه. People used to say La ilaha illallah, so we said it because taqleed. في الكلمة لا يجوز شرعا. To blindly imitate in the kalima is not permissible. That's the rajih from the ulama. To make taqleed, blind following of our ancestors, our fathers in the kalima is unacceptable. So this is the state of affairs. I don't know who has all this time, but there's a lot of work to do, all of us. And we're all muqassirun. I don't know anybody. In fact, really, if you look in traditional Islam, we don't have hukm al-fusaq. Every single last one of them. If you took the traditional tahkim of the ulama before in the old days, and you show up in court and they look into your life, you'd be fasiq, including me. We'd all just be fusaq. They wouldn't even take a shahada from us. We couldn't even bear witness. And we're talking about Abu Hamid al-Ghazali. They wouldn't even take our witness. They say, get out of here, Hoqat. You're just rabble. Something has to change. You know, people, we need to get doing things, not just talking. You know, I don't know, I just feel every day it just seems more urgent for me. That's the way I feel. It just seems more urgent. You know, the sleep gets deeper, it just seems more urgent. But, you know, alhamdulillah, we're mu'minun, and nowhere in the book of Allah do I see you just give up. I don't see that anywhere in the book of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said things are going to get bad. And what did he tell us to do? Badiru bil amal. Get working. When things get bad, get working. إذا وقعت عليكم الساعة وبيد أحدكم أسيرة فليغرسها إن استطاع أن يغرسها فليغرسها. If you're planting a seed, get planting it. Get planting it. And death is sa'a. That's sa'a to sughra, our own death. We don't have to wait for